The centre bounce. She would have looked up to her coming through the ranks, seen what she's done for the competition. As the Crows have got all their big guns in there, Hatchard, Marinov and Phillips. And we're underway here in the third quarter, but it's the young gun Prasparkas to the other young gun Egan. And the Blues will look to send the ball forward, continuing on with that high handball approach, and again it's going to backfire. Phillips will take the advantage, and there's the difference. Just boot the ball, get some territory to Ponta, off to Hatchard with a perfect start for the Crows, but the kick will go out of bounds.
Just that overuse by hand by Carlton again, just in the middle. They're doing probably that 1-2 handball too many, and just that late fumble with that decision making.
You just saw the difference in experience. Phillips got it, kicked it into a one-on-one, knew what was up ahead. And it was almost a dream start for the Crows, but they've still got an opportunity inside 50. Egan, Hatchard, strong tackle. They're big and physical in there, the Crows. Hatchard, Marinov, these young Blues have been pretty competitive, but they're just going to have to hang in there, as Hatchard missed one earlier in the game, is now coming up for disposal, number 12, and trying to kick the opening goal of this second half. Hatchard drills it low and hard, and she makes no mistake.
Hatchard making sure she made that one clear over the line there. Gave herself a little bit more room with her kicking technique and kicking style to ensure she could give it a little bit more roost over the goal line.
And Hatchard on screen, dominating the competition this year. And what about her improvement, Alex? In 2017, played 7 games, averaged just to 6 disposals, then up to 7.5, up to 19, and now averaging over 27 disposals a game. And she's part of this formidable midfield for the Crows. As there was another one, Marinov. Got the ball to half forward. Mules wrapped up.
Alex and Lee, Georgia G started on the bench this term. She's just getting her left knee restrapped at the moment. I'll keep my eye on it.
Prasparkas wins that clearance, gets it to Plain. Vesio worked her opponent under the footy nicely. There's a couple of free Blues inside 50, but Adelaide had zoned off well, protected the space. The kick will go to Taylor Harris. It's a good kick. It's a beautiful kick, in fact. And Taylor Harris, who we just spoke on, has missed 2, should back herself in. Doesn't want to go back for the set shot, so she kicks it off one step and thinks that's the way to do it. Think less, just kick it through. Well, I was a bit nervous there, Alex, because you'd like to see her go back and take the set shot, but maybe she thought, if I don't have time to think about it and just kick on instinct, it might work, and it did that time.
I think so, particularly with the wind down that end. She probably didn't back herself to kick it as accurately as she'd liked, but just Vesio there hitting up the right option again at the top of their forward 50, waiting for that option 1 or 2 or 3. They are waiting for it consistently to make sure they give their key forwards every opportunity of executing and marking.
Well, it's a terrific game of football going on here in this NAB AFLW competition. The grand finalists from last year are putting on a show this afternoon. It's the Crows by 5 points as Hatchard again will win the centre clearance and go towards half forward, but Plain has been rock solid for the Blues in defence this afternoon. Harris just a bit too aggressive in that tackle, held Foley without the footy. Foley's kick wide to Marinov. Disposal number 10 for her. Short to Phillips. Drop the mark she'd usually swallow. Prasparkas is there, has plenty of Blues in support. They will use the hands this time. Loins happy to kick it forward to a one-on-one. Nicola Stevens dropped the mark, but has got a couple of metres on Cox if the ball will sit for her. Tight against the boundary line, uses that left boot into space. McAvoy's got 2 Crows against her. If she can lock it in the 50, it'll be a good result. Applies good pressure on Lee. Allen. Well done by Stevens, keeps it alive. Rychich, McAvoy goes back at it with strength, breaks the tackle, flying shot at goal, just misses. Would have been a great bit of individual brilliance from Lucy McAvoy. the strength for an 18-year-old, it's remarkable what she's already able to do.
She is so strong through. She reminds me of Chris Judd in a way. She's able to break up and stand up out of her packs. She is young, and I know I'm saying maybe that a little bit prematurely, but she's an absolute star in the way she is able to stand up and get out of packs.
Marinov ran into a bit of trouble. Down low. Marinov again with Sophie Lee. Moody and Metcalf. Marinov, it's a good midfield matchup between Marinov and Hatchard, and Prasparkas for the Blues. Maddie Prasparkas already up to 17 disposals and 2 clearances.
It's great to see the rucksack Brianna Moody just making sure she's more than just tapping it, really she's roving her own footy at the moment, which is great to see, just the intent and the purpose that she wants to give her midfielders a clean use.
Yeah, it's the modern ruck these days, both the men's and women's games, to be able to follow up at ground level, impact around the contest. Mules comes through hard. Vesio, who's been really clean below her knees in this game. Loins, desperate as always. Mules shovels it out to Hatchard, and the deflection off Prasparkas. The boundary umpire said off her knee, so it'll be thrown back in.
Guys, just another quick update on Georgia G. She's testing that left knee out and she's getting more strapping on it right now.
So an injury concern for Georgia G, who kicked 3 goals last week against the Bulldogs. So hopefully she's right to get back out there and try and create something for Carlton as Prasparkas wins the clearance again. We'll kick it on the left boot to a dangerous spot on the ground. Hosking flies. Stevie Lee Thompson stayed down at ground level. Kicks it into the middle of Richmond Oval. Carlton have the wall set up, but the ball didn't quite bounce Pound's way. Hosking has a fumble. Adelaide are sweating all over it. One of them's Jones, and she'll get her. And the opportunity for the fast break is on. If Eloise Jones, well, it's going to be Gum that's going to take the kick. I think she pulled rank with experience there. Wide to Marinov.
Carlton had 3 or 4 defenders there, and they just fumbled around with it too much.
And the kick from Marinov's a beauty. Finds Phillips on the long lead. And I reckon this time she might go back and try and kick her first goal for season 2020.
Just the experience there from Gum to wait for the options and make sure she actually hits up a really good target coming inside forward 50. This will be a sensational return, Lee, if it is what it is.
Yeah, we'll listen to the crowd roar if Phillips can nail this one. She passed the first couple of opportunities off from 45. Oh, the crowd wanted to rise, but it was just touched on the goal line. Bit of confusion there amongst the players, but I think it deflected off the goalpost. That's why it looked like it stayed in play. And just the one behind, so it's the Crows by 5 points. Phillips up to 7 disposals. A couple of clearances. Downey. Again, the Blues will look to transition via switching the football. Use the full width of the oval here. Pound has Moody up ahead, has the size advantage on Marinov, and then has some support at ground level in Edwards. Was going to give it to Moody, decided better and said, no, I'm the midfielder, I'll kick it towards half forward. Vesio, Stevens at ground level. We know she wants to get on her left. She does. Taylor Harris at the top of the square. She's got the sit. Can she take the mark? She can. Of course she can. And Taylor Harris, who threatened in the first half, will look to kick her second goal in this third term and give the Blues the lead for the first time today. Taylor Harris from point-blank range kicks her second, and Carlton, they're in front.
It's exactly why Daniel Harford has Nick Stevens there to peel around onto that left foot and boot it into his tall forwards. It's an excellent use of Nicholas Stevens' elite foot skills to be able to deliver like that.
Well, we mentioned at half-time, Alex, that Taylor Harris had threatened. She'd had 3 shots on goal for just the 2 behinds, but has now worked herself into a sensational game. 2 goals, 2, 9 disposals, 4 marks, and looks like the best forward on the ground at the moment.
Vessio's still bubbling away there, getting her hands nice and hot on it. So hopefully she's able to snag one in this next 7 minutes of play.
Taylor Harris has turned the game back in the Blues' favour. Adelaide will win the centre clearance again, though. Harrington, Wilson, back into the side today. He's had a really good game in defence for the Blues, up to disposal number 12. The kick went wide. Foley will be first to the ball. Wobbled it towards half forward, but Wilson again. Young Charlotte Wilson, in her second season from the Eastern Rangers, having her best game as a Blue. Oh, pops it short. So Dalton will look to switch play. Has a bounce. You know, she's got speed to burn, and they'll kick it into space. Went looking for Prespakis. Didn't quite get to her. Foley read it best. Forth will get back there. Phillips. Now Hatchard has a player on his short, but kicked it too far. And again, Wilson will mop up for Carlton. Harrington has Loynes out the back if it can get to her. Edwards kept her feet. Considine went to ground. Now Loynes will get it. Back to Hosking. And with a bit of composure, we'll just settle the Blues. And they'll look to build up the football from half-back. So it was Adelaide by 6 points at quarter time, 5 at half-time.
Good leadership here from the Carlton backline. They're just really steadying the ship, making sure they keep really great shape behind the ball and giving themselves every option to look laterally if they need to.
We just saw the intercept marks come up there. Carlton have taken 10 intercept marks to only 3 for the Crows. They've rebounded really well off half-back, but a chance for the Crows here. And again, Wilson playing the game of her life in defence for the Blues.
Really solid defender down there, Charlotte Wilson. Really reliable, strong, fit. She'll be able to keep up with any speed of the game, which is great to see in such a young player.
Got the numbers in defence, so they'll use them and go wide to Plain. Natalie Plain has Bazali. Nicola Stevens presents up ahead. The kick goes in that direction. Did well, Stevens. Can she get her arms free? Was taken high anyway. So Prespakis leading all comers with 19 disposals. Wilson 16 for the Blues, and Hatchard and Marinoff, the number 1 and 2 leading disposal winners in the competition, lead the Crows again this afternoon. The kick goes towards Moody. There's Harris. McAvoy at ground level. We'll have it thrown in. The
Blues forward line has really started to understand what that spare Crows defender is doing and actually manipulating how they set up to nullify that Adelaide defender's impact on the game.
So Hatchard will do the rucking for the Crows here. Moody has the height advantage, couldn't get any purchase on the ball. Bedell did well. Phillips trying to lift her team, getting into the midfield. Wobbly ball inside 50, it's dangerous. Vessio's clean at ground level. Allen met her, coming the other way. Georgia G, good to see her back on the ground. Knee heavily strapped. It's a live ball. Loynes trying to get it out. Umpire will give her the benefit of the doubt. Katie Loynes, 11 disposals, 3 clearances, 6 contested, continuing to get her hands dirty for this team. Marinov. Egan did well not to give away the free kick. Still going Marinov. See the tackle count, top of your screen, 30-25 in favour of the Blues. It was physical early in the first quarter. It's opened up a little bit more as the game's unfolded. And Erin Phillips, who's thrown herself on ball for a few minutes here, wants to try and just take some territory. Feign that she was going to kick it long. Popped it to Hatchard, dropped the mark. Moody closes her. Has her midfield teammate in support, Marinov. Phillips will continue to run. So she's trying to lift her team. Will go on the left boot, but had nothing at all to kick to. And once again, Carlton have really set up well at half-back and take another intercept mark. Blues will chip the ball around the boundary line. I've seen them do this a lot in this contest. They've had almost 80 more disposals in this game, and they'll get a 50-metre penalty. We know how important they are in AFLW. Plain will go in the Harris direction. She's hot so far. Can she take the mark? Couldn't quite. Follows up at ground level. Prasparkas throws herself into the footy. Considine and Phillips starting to get busy. And again, just settles her teammates down. She's worked herself up to 12 disposals, 4 marks, having influence in this third term. Big pack of players. Hosking, Egan there at ground level. Jones went without it. Egan goes back and gets it. That's a good handball. That wasn't from Plain. Again, just one too many handballs. An opportunity for the Crows. Laluifi met her the other way. Good contest. Both girls kept their eye on the footy. And it's game on here at Richmond Oval late in this third term. Carlton with the slight 1-point lead. We just see on the replay, both girls' eyes on the ball. Good contest. Phillips still lurking at the front of this contest. Dalton being good as a midfielder. That's a nice handball to Egan. And now they'll kick it inside 50, but there's the spare player for the Crows. Mariana Rajcic. And we'll switch to the experienced Cox. Hatchard works hard. Brazzali's going to come off her opponent to try and impact. Ball doesn't bounce kindly for Hatchard. Edwards, crucial fumble. Got to make an effort. It was Dalton, in fact, and we'll have another stoppage.
Adelaide obviously just then tried to come down this side of the ground a couple of times, and now they've looked to open up the ground a little bit more to get that counter-attack and run back in their football, which saw them so successful in the first half.
Nicely done from Moody. The tap back towards Dalton. There's McAvoy's strength to stand up in the tackle. Wilson on her opposite foot, goes wide to Prasparkas. She'll get the free kick. Advantage will be taken. Brooke Walker will go into the pocket. Taylor Harris has got it again. Well, she's on one of the best defenders in the comp in Sarah Allen, but she's starting to dominate this game, Taylor Harris, and if she can kick her third for the quarter, this will give the Blues a massive boost before three-quarter time. And if she wants to run around and snap, she'll need to do it pretty soon. She's going to go for the half drop punt, half snap, and has pulled it to the left. So what could have been for the Blues, but it doesn't matter. They lead by 2 points, and all their possession and their uncontested style of game is starting to pay dividends. But Adelaide are one of the best last quarter teams in the competition. It's game on here at Adelaide. It's the Crows 4-3-27, trailing the Blues 4-5-29. Stick with us, big final term coming up here, NAB AFLW.